The police, by nature, appear in all facets of our community. It is therefore likely that you will interact with them at some point. The types of interactions you can have with police exist on a sliding scale. On one end, there's carding, and on the more serious end, there's arrest. But today, we'll be talking about detention. So, what is detention, and what are the laws governing it? Let's start with a formal definition. A person is detained where he or she submits or acquiesces in the deprivation of liberty and reasonably believes that the choice to do otherwise does not exist. But to understand what that means, we'll need to look at the history of how the police power of detention evolved. The Criminal Code of Canada enumerates all of the rules relating to arrests. Arrests require that police have reasonable and probable grounds backed by evidence that the individual committed a crime. However, the code does not mention that police have any other powers to stop people, like detention. Since arrest is the only form of stopping mentioned in the Criminal Code, you might assume that unless you're being arrested, the police cannot stop you. However, in practice, police detain people they did not have enough evidence to arrest yet in order to make investigations more efficient. The legal right for police to do this was created by the courts in 1993. It was then decided that police do have the right to briefly detain a person where they have articulable cause to believe that the person is involved in a crime. In other words, a little less evidence than they would need for an arrest. So the police have this vague power of detention, but what's the difference between that and simply talking? There's a fine line that separates the two, and the answer goes back to our formal definition. In detention, you no longer have the liberty to do what you want, like leave. The fine line is further explained in 3 subsequent court cases.